now we are getting to a very interesting topic, which is going to be the centralization versus decentralization in organizations. So I will start with a drawing of two kinds of companies which are following, and I will begin with the centralization one. So just imagine some maybe banking clerk. So here it is, and now he receives some task, and here is the task, and there are 6 things that needs to be done, and he has got charge, or maybe 3 of them are very simple ones, so just he has to fill in some papers and send them. But in the next 3 of them, some decision is necessary to be done. So in these 3 there is some decision. So what is he going to do? He will look up in the hierarchical ladder for some authority. So he is looking for some authority which is above him, which has got the right or the responsibility to make the decision. So here is going to be another guy who is a manager, and he is just some low or lower manager. So he will take this task. Okay, what needs to be done? And he has got these 6 small parts, when 3 of them were already done by the clerk, and he tells himself, okay, I'm in charge of doing 2 next, so he will do these 2. But in the last one, there needs to be some maybe long-term decision or important decision. So important decision. So he will again look up in the hierarchical ladder for some top managers. So here is going to be our super top manager. So top manager, and he is in the right to finish the decision and really finish the task. So here is going to be our task: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 were done by the clerk, 2 were done by the lower manager, and now the top manager finishes it by his decision with the last point. So what has happened in this company? At first, the clerk has moved, and I will finish my sketch. So he is a clerk. So the clerk took the task and moved it up to lower manager. Then the lower manager made some decision and moved it up to top manager. And then when the decision was made, the information was then moved down to lower manager, and then from lower manager directly to our clerk, who has finished everything and sent the papers which were necessary. What was good here? Well, the good definitely was that the important decision making was left for the right people. So important decisions are left for top managers. Top managers. which is which is very good, because they are really able to make the right decisions usually in the companies. But what are the disadvantages of this? Well, for instance, there is disadvantage that the time can really delay. So maybe there can be some time delays, because when you look at it, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 steps and 3 different people involved in solving the problem or solving the task. And now we will move to new kind of company, or the different one, the decentralized one, and we are going to have the same situation where there is this our clerk who receives the task, and he will be the task 6 points, and he decides to solve 3, and then he's going to move the rest up to the lower manager. So we have our clerk, and here is the lower manager, and here he is. But what is going to be different here? He will take the responsibility for all rest of the task. So instead of 2 points, as in the centralized company, he will simply finish it. So the task is now finished, and he can move it down to the clerk. So he's moving it down, and the task is simply finished. But what is, or where is the place of the top manager in this kind of company? Well, just imagine that there are going to be 100 of the clerks, and then maybe 10 of these lower managers. So we are going to have 10 lower managers and 100 clerks. So 100 clerks. And then now eh, maybe just two or three of these lower manager decides that it is necessary to move the task up for some higher decision maker. So maybe two to three decide that the top manager is necessary. So here is the top manager, and then he makes again the same decisions, and we are following the same process as in the centralized company. But what was different here? Well, the manager is not overloaded. So the top manager is not overloaded. So top manager is not overloaded. Because if you would imagine the first kind of company, he would every day receive a lot of tasks, so he doesn't really have enough time to really consider every of them, so he can make some mistakes. But what can be disadvantage in this kind of company? Well, the company can lose the control of the decisions which lower managers are doing. So lose of control. And you can really see the contrast here, and I will maybe try to write one more advantage here, which is high responsiveness here. High responsiveness. Responsiveness. And one more disadvantage here. So disadvantage is that the top managers are overloaded. And now you really see the contrast, so that uh, the overloaded is now diminished, and then the time delays are replaced with high responsiveness, because we have just two steps here and just two people involved in the task. And then the loss of control, which is disadvantage here, is much better in the centralized company where the top managers are doing the decisions. So these were the differences and the contrast between the centralized and decentralized company.